Okay, we're at the end of the week. Saturday today of the week that I went to the neurologist in 450-kilometre round trip. I had the Botox treatment done, which, as I said, was my 32 injections that I have all through my head and through my neck either side. Spoke to the neurologist and told him that I had seen the ENT and just an update with that. The results came back through from the CT scan that I had the previous Friday regarding looking for a fractured bone in the vestibular system regarding the around the cochlea area and the balance that may be interfering with the balance system in my vestibular system. So it referred to semicircular canal dissonance. The results came back through for that as no fracture seen, which is for me a nice result. Being pretty positive about that. I'm glad so that's not requiring any intervention regarding, surgery into the middle ear or into the brain or what have you. But however, they've done a referral on for me to go to a neurosensory clinic to have about 3.5 to 4 hours of different sensory type tests done, which, it's a crazy world because I really wished I'd been able to do this like several years ago. So we're talking, this onset of this last flare starting in September of 2023, and here we are in April of 2026. So it's already been a massive long haul. What surprises me is just that there seems to be, in Australia, no connections between any doctors, no talking even between any specialists, no contacting anyone to help a single person, a single patient, between specialists, between doctors. And if they finally get through to somebody and want to talk to them about a patient, then they friggin' forget who they've rung up about. So, our system fails us in so many ways, and I just wish that there was a better way. And I've dreamt up a new way, and I would really love to be able to talk to someone about how I could develop a new app that I feel like would be so great for us, and a personal app that was belonged and owned by us personally, wasn't a government thing, and we could take it with us everywhere, that it was our medical record. But that's another long story and a long thing, but I would just wish that was the case. Been a really long week, as I said. I've really struggled this week. I reported to the neurologist for my 3 monthly treatment. I've only had relief for 6 weeks out of the 3 months, so he was pretty disappointed to hear that. Hopefully stress might be reduced over the next little while. I can get my feet back on the ground. I can start to maybe just settle a little bit and just reground myself, and the cooler months are upon us. Maybe I can just come back out into the garden, back into nature, reground, regroup. The balance is always a continual thing. I was invited out last night with some friends, my husband and I. It was lovely to go and socialise, but I found myself in such a difficult position, like the whole idea of going out and socialising is one thing. Prepping for it, like I spent the whole day making sure I was one foot in front of the other so that I had enough energy left in my tank, you would probably say, had enough had enough capacity left within my day to fit this in so that I was okay to do it. And then when I was there, the environment was loud. There was a lot of talking. There was, we moved between two different places, one for drinks, one for dinner. I loved the company we were in, beautiful people we were with. And, my girlfriend, very aware of my condition, but um, really just even to socialise with others. My train of thought, I could barely speak words at points and couldn't even remember what I was talking about at some stages. So even for me, just to dialogue this is really great. So a really steady week, as I said. It's really difficult, and I do have a booking in the next 6 weeks to prepare for, to go to have neurosensory done. My neck is seriously tight. I have been struggling with my vestibular migraines every day. I have reduced a medication that I was recently put on to do with my skin, and my daughter and I have troubleshot with that recently and realised that it increased cranial pressure. So that was probably a contributing factor to some of the migraines that I've received in the last couple of weeks. But I'm not prepared to take that, so I've just stopped it. So, and I've only been on that I think 12 days. So that just goes to show my body's like, no, you're not going to have that. So back to the drawing board. I'll just do me. I'll just do it however I have to. When you need to rest, you rest, and that's okay. When you can fence, you fence. When you can do gardening, you do gardening, that's fine. But for me, I know that I can't work. I don't have a full-time job. I couldn't be responsible for anyone or anything else. I I can't be responsible for even thinking about my train of thought in terms of communicating and remembering and being responsible. And, you read job descriptions these days and they say, oh, they want you to think on your feet and want you to be part of a team, and they want you, like I'm fucking, would be the most rejected person out there. No one would want me. So I know that actually sounds pretty negative, but, there's so many of us out here that are struggling from day to day, and yet we have no help from anybody. There's not one service that I rely on from the government, from anybody, from anywhere. Anything I do for myself. I pay for myself. I don't live, you know, anywhere in a town where, I just do me. Like, that's it. I have to, it is what it is. And, as it goes, I just try to do my bit on the farm and help my husband when I can. And I'm very lucky and fortunate to be in the situation I am in terms of, being, truly supported by my family. But, so that's it really. Anyway, I've got lots of little plans on the go. I've got some developments happening, especially for us PPPD people. You know, I'm thinking not just about me. I'm thinking about all of us. I'm thinking about everyone. I'm thinking about all and every single person that has PPPD, that struggles with this every day, that struggles with the thoughts, that struggles with, you know, the idea that, you know, you're worthless and that you really don't even want to be here anymore. I get it. I get it. I know I've been to the bottom of that spiral. I've been to the bottom of that gully. I've been to the bottom of that ditch many, many, many times. But I've also risen well and truly above that. And I've been much higher than I am right now. So, you know, it's all ebbs and flows. And, yeah, we just have to ride this ride until we can get to a place where we know that, you know, we can find some stability, we can find that we can put one foot in front of the other and continue to find a new way forward. So I just want to, crack on, start this channel, be there for anyone that might just take the smallest little thing that I might say out of it and say, well, look, you know what, I'm just going to give it my red hot shot too. So hang in there, peeps. Love you all, and I'll be back soon. Okay, take care. Bye.